and crypto miners crashing our grid and turning the lights off. So what does the crypto industry have to say? Lee Bratcher is president and founder of the Texas Blockchain Council. He joins us now. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Phil.
So let's just start with a basic. When we talk about the crypto industry, how many people are we talking about? How many operations are we talking about?
In the full industry, there's tens of thousands of people employed in Texas alone. A lot of that is in the fintech, VC ecosystem. For Bitcoin mining in particular, there are over 25 large-scale industrial operations across the state employing over 2,000 people directly, with an indirect and sort of 1099 employment for more than 20,000 people.
And what's your response to Lieutenant Governor Patrick's thoughts? I mean, he's obviously signaling that there's going to be more scrutiny on you guys coming into the near future.
Yeah, the Lieutenant Governor wants what we all want, and that is for a reliable grid and for the lights to stay on. And the Bitcoin mining industry contributes to grid reliability in a number of ways. Bitcoin mining is a very price-sensitive load. So when the price of power goes up, Bitcoin miners turn off. And in the ERCOT marketplace, the price of power is a proxy for grid stress. So when the price is rising, that's when there's less supply and a lot of demand. And Bitcoin miners are allergic to high prices, so they will turn off anytime prices get above around 20 cents a kilowatt hour.
Are there other ways that you can be a good neighbor in this situation?
Absolutely. Bitcoin miners are employing lots of folks in rural Texas. They are, in some counties, they're the largest employer. In 4 counties, they are the largest taxpayer. They're rebuilding baseball fields that have been long derelict. They're rebuilding city pools in a lot of these areas. So they're not only good grid citizens, but also good corporate citizens as well.
So in a stretch of like we're going through now with heat indexes soaring, what's going on with Bitcoin mining?
Sure.
Let's take this past week for an example.
Right. So even Friday, there was actually 9,000 megawatts of electricity on the grid, more than we could use. And that's because wind and solar was producing the natural gas generation facilities. There were no outages. So we actually had a lot more power than we could use. And Bitcoin miners are soaking that excess power up. They're a buyer of last resort, especially overnight. Think back to the TXU commercials where they say, hey, you can have free energy nights and weekends, right? That's because the power markets are really tough. It's really not about how much power is used at any given time. It's what time of day are you using it and where are you using it.
So that could change in August in the situation. What happened last week could be different if you have another heat wave in August.
Absolutely. And say the wind's not blowing and the clouds go over the sun and we have a generation shrinkage where right now about a third of the grid is supplied by renewables, which are intermittent. Mm-hmm. Bitcoin miners are an intermittent demand source that can flex alongside our intermittent renewables.
What do you say to the folks who may not understand the industry, may not have any cryptocurrency, and go, well, what are you actually making? It's just a bunch of people in a room, making digital assets that they might not have. Is it worth it? What's your thoughts?
Sure. Just the way that the Bitcoin miners interact on the grid alone is actually quite helpful for grid reliability, even if someone doesn't believe in Bitcoin as an asset. But Bitcoin is a large commodity. It's bigger than silver by market cap, and one day will probably overtake gold by market cap. And it is used by people all around the world, especially in the developing world, where they have an inflating currency or they don't have a reliable means of transacting. On a per capita basis, places like Nigeria and Vietnam use Bitcoin more than they do any other type of currency.
They may be skeptical about, Texas people making digital currency for people in other countries, though.
Well, we're really not making it. We are securing the network. So Bitcoin miners secure the network, and they are rewarded a block reward of Bitcoin for their investment and their work in securing the network.
All right. Lee Bratcher, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.